Hello, I'm Paul Trowler, Professor of Higher Education and Director of the Higher Education Research Evaluation and Enhancement PhD, HEREE as we call it. This 100% online program has been running for the last 8 years, but benefited at its beginning from 25 years experience of offering blended learning to higher education professionals like you in its sister PhD program. We've been fine-tuning this program for the last 8 years, and I'm sure you'll find it very focused on your needs and on publishing your papers. This short animation gives you a feel for the structure of the program and the kinds of things you'll be doing during it. I hope you find it useful. Thanks a lot. You begin the program at the start of October, and the first week is devoted to induction. Online learning has some similarities to being at a party. To be successful, it needs people to be comfortable with each other, feeling relaxed and among friends. We even have a mocktail party as part of the induction. So much of the induction week is about getting to know each other. Also, we make sure that everything is working for you and that you know things like how to use Lancaster's library online, who to contact, and what's happening when. Then, the first of 3 core modules begins. This one is about policy and change processes in higher education, and it gives you a chance to think about changes that are significant for you and to view them with the conceptual and theoretical tools that we offer. Enhancement through research is the name of the game here. Inside the core modules is an integrated module designed to help you think about your professional practice in a conceptual and theoretical way. Like both the other core modules, this one is divided into a structured learning part of about 15 weeks and a student-led research part of the same length. Core modules involve things like video lectures and conversations with specialists, forum discussions, working in small groups on topics of interest, having live video conferences, discussing case studies and case exhibits, engaging with learning resources about, for example, achieving significance in your research, getting feedback on your research ideas, and drawing from and adding to glossaries about concepts, theories and theorists. November sees the first point of engagement with the Research Methods module. You focus on the methodological aspects of your research ideas for the core module. This 1 week is also focused on helping you to prepare for your small assignment later in the month. This is a very low stakes, i.e. not at PhD level, an opportunity to play with ideas. You're asked to give a skeleton plan of the research for the module. In this case, something around policy and change and enhancement, which is important to you. You'll get feedback on this to make sure that you're heading in the right direction. In December, the structured part of the module continues. There's a break of 2 weeks at the end of December and into January, and in the middle of January, the structured part of the module finishes, and now is your chance to focus entirely on your research paper. Of course, you'll have the opportunity to talk to other members of your cohort and with the module leader. Most cohorts form little groups with similar interests and help each other as they develop their research. In February, you're asked to complete a very short assignment for the Research Methods Support module, in which you choose 3 PhD abstracts that are close to your own topic and evaluate them. This helps you think about the overall design of your own approach and about its significance to journal readers. In each of the 3 core modules, you have the opportunity to get formative feedback in great detail on a draft of your research assignment, the prelim or preliminary submission. This will help you to do the best you can for the final submission and aims to help you achieve publishability. The model of the 3 big assignments that you write in part 1 is submitting a journal article, and this prelim feedback is just like the feedback you get from peer reviewers of a journal. You make amendments based on their comments and then submit your final version to the editor, except in this case it's your module leader who gives comments and receives the final version. As you see, there's another week of engagement with the Research Methods module. This one helps you reflect on the methodological aspects raised in your prelim submission and to prepare for the final submission of your research paper. So, in April, you submit your final submission and we hope that you will also submit this work to a journal for publication once you've had a mark and feedback. This feedback will offer suggestions about publishing. That's why we emphasize that this is a publish-as-you-go program. If problems remain with your final submission, you do have the opportunity for resubmission before you continue to the next core module. This month, the next core module starts, and the pattern is exactly the same as before, with a structured part followed by a student-centered research part. Here the topic is evaluation in higher education. Once again, an early assignment gives you the opportunity to get feedback about your ideas for research on evaluation. It's only 2,300 words and is low stakes. In July, there's another week of engagement, a week in which you focus on the methodological aspects of your research for the core module. In this month, you again switch to the student-led research mode, doing the research paper for your paper on evaluation in higher education and preparing for your prelim submission. Again, talking with peers and with the module tutor is important, but the focus now has gone beyond giving you the tools, concepts and theories, familiarity with the literature in this area, and is now entirely upon your own topic and those related to your peers. Collaboration and peer feedback is really encouraged. This continues in September, so that you are ready to submit your prelim towards the end of October to get feedback that's detailed from your module tutor. As before, the feedback comes 2 or 3 weeks later, and again there is a week of engagement with the Research Methods module to assist you in thinking through and talking about the methodological aspects of your research, ready for the final submission towards the end of the month. As you see, December finishes with the Research Methods module, a small assignment reflecting on the methodological aspects of your recently submitted paper. 2 core modules are now completed, with only 1 more to go. By this stage, you should have at least 1 paper submitted to an academic journal. This month sees the beginning of the core module on enhancing learning, teaching and assessment. The design is the same as before, with a structured part and a student-led research part. As you've guessed by now, there is a small assignment helping you to plan your research paper for this module. Again, it's low stakes, giving you the opportunity to play with ideas and get feedback. Again, there is a week of engagement with the Research Methods module. This one is slightly different though, because you're thinking beyond the research paper for this core module and instead beginning to plan for part 2 of the program, the part in which you're researching and writing your thesis with the help of a specialist supervisor. Another week of engagement occurs towards the end of April, and this one, by contrast, is focused on the methodological aspects of the research paper you are writing for the Learning and Teaching core module. You can also reflect on any methods aspects brought up in the feedback on your small assignment in February, in which you planned the research paper for this module. An important point happens towards the end of May, when you write a small assignment planning your Part 2 research project and get feedback on it. As you see, the focus is now beginning to shift towards the next stage of the program. This small assignment has been supported by the week of methodological engagement in April, and it's the first step towards writing your formal research plan for Part 2, the confirmation document as it's oddly called. There's a final week of engagement with the Research Methods Support module, helping you to prepare for the prelim submission for the core module, which happens this month. As usual, you get detailed feedback on your prelim submission, and this helps you to produce a really good final submission at the end of the month. Again, this is marked to PhD standards and should be suitable for submission to an academic journal. The next couple of months are devoted to preparing your confirmation document, your research proposal for Part 2, which is assessed by a panel of 3 academics to ensure that you are well set up for researching and writing your thesis, with a topic that's significant and practicable. You'll get detailed feedback and, if necessary, an opportunity to resubmit. Lancaster University wants to ensure that you move into Part 2 with a clear, doable plan so that you and your supervisor can move forward in confidence to a great result 2 years later. In October, you'll formally be in Part 2. With the help of your supervisor, you research and write up a topic of keen interest to you. The thesis is 45,000 words, shorter than a traditional thesis because you've already written 21,000 words at PhD standard in Part 1. 2 examiners read your thesis and will conduct an oral exam, a viva, with you. This usually takes around an hour and is most often conducted remotely. After the thesis is approved, it's time to celebrate.